Welcome to Be the One live stream as we kick off the first hour of the Community Foundation of Sarasota's County Giving Challenge. I'm Lisa Kiddon, Development Manager with the Alzheimer's Association, and I'm here with my colleague, Bernice Plela, Program Manager for Sarasota, Manatee, and DeSoto counties. We're going to share how our community members are working with the Alzheimer's Associations to be the one in the fight for a world without Alzheimer's and all other dementias. To start with, let me share a little bit about the challenge. The Community Foundation of Sarasota's County Giving Challenge is an exciting 24-hour giving event that connects nonprofit organizations with the community to build relationships, support diverse causes, and create enduring impact in Sarasota, Manatee, Charlotte, and DeSoto counties. We also want to give a big, huge shout out thank you to the Patterson Foundation for doubling your impact. This is an amazing opportunity to make your donation go further to impact Alzheimer's in our community. If you have a Walk to End Alzheimer's team in Sarasota or your longest day event, excuse me, in one of these participating counties, your funds will be credited to your team or your event. We will place a link to our Giving Challenge page for anyone who would like to participate. Next, Bernice is going to share how our residents from Sarasota, Manatee, Charlotte, and DeSoto have become the ones in their communities by joining with the Alzheimer's Association.
Thanks so much, Lisa. When we learned about the theme of the Giving Challenge this year, which is Be the One, we immediately thought of our amazing volunteers that inspire us and are making a difference in their communities each and every day. Through their stories today, we can see the work of the Alzheimer's Association in action. But first, let's start with a little bit of information. Florida is at the epicenter of the Alzheimer's epidemic in the US. The next video, which comes from our 2022 Florida Facts and Figures report, will hopefully give you some more insight. We could never meet our vision of a world without Alzheimer's and all other dementias on our own by working together with researchers, health systems, corporations, elected officials, professionals, community members like yourselves, and people impacted by dementia. All of us working together, we can, and I believe we are, making a difference. Now I'd like to introduce two of our amazing volunteers, Luis Gallagher and David Klain. Luis and David retired to Florida from California, and I'm privileged to say that I've been working with them for over 3 years. Luis joined the association to be the one to provide education in her community. Let's hear more about her work.
Community educator, and because I was so starved for information and I love learning, I just feel that everybody is going to need this information somewhere along the way in their life, as we did, and we were ignorant. And so I really want to help other people learn about this illness and this disease, because our population is shifting and it's aging, and we're going to come in contact with more and more people unless we find that cure that we're all desperate to have. And yet, if people still continue to have this disease, we do have to help everybody understand this disease, destigmatize this disease, and help them deal with this, both on an individual level as well as a society level.
Inspired by the experience of caring for her sister, Louise has gone on to become one of the most active Alzheimer's community educators in the nation. In fact, she was among the top 20 in the nation for the number of people that she reached with education, which I don't think she knew that until now. Hopefully she's watching. Through our Alzheimer's Community Educator Program, we provide education in person, via webinar, and on demand about topics such as the warning signs, risk reduction, research, and caregiver tools. To find a program that fits your needs, please see the links provided during this live stream. In addition to education, Floridians can be the one to provide support in their communities. We're going to stay here just for a little bit longer with Louise and David. Together, they facilitate a Coping as Couples support group. This group is for people who are newly diagnosed and their care partners. Let's listen to Louise and David tell you more about this group.
And as for me, I think that one of the things that I enjoy, because David and I do the support group, one of the support groups together as a couple, that's our couple support group. It's very heartwarming to see, to me, how much they care about each other and they want to help each other with the battle and the struggle that they're all going through. And so there's a lot of vulnerability and so much caring that it just warms you.
In the early days after a diagnosis, people often search for fellow travelers. These support groups can serve as a much needed anchor for people touched by the disease, giving them a safe space to share and learn from others who may be on a similar journey. David also facilitates yet another support group. I'm honored to let his co-facilitator, Dick Helstein, tell you more about this group.
Was the need for a men's support group. There are joint support groups, men and women's support groups, but the men really don't have a chance for them to talk man to man and finding a way to be as passionate, as vulnerable, as caring as they could be. And so a group was put together of about 15 men from all over the state. And we have been meeting for about 2.5 years now. And what's been so wonderful about it is the men first started off as they would be, very hesitant, very shy. They care so much for each other. They can't wait to see each other. And my job as a facilitator has become easier and easier as they share things that they are going through and ask others how they can help them as well. And I think one of the most important things that's happened in our group that I feel so terrific about is the group really has bonded. And so they will reach out to one another even between some of these meetings. And one of the other good things is that they put together a co-facilitator with me who really is very learned in a lot of the medical areas. And so one of the real problems with this group, as we talked about, is how they very rarely spend the time taking care of themselves, eating right, exercising, socializing. And this person, David, is able to sense that in certain ones and tell them what they have to do to try to get out there and stay strong themselves. So we really all push for that. Another thing that he's great with and that we really talk a lot about is guilt. And I think that's one of the toughest things for a caregiver, especially for a male caregiver. We have tried to teach them patience, which as a male is not one of your great attributes. And just to understand that those times when you lose your tempers, those times when you have to just leave are not horrible in any way. It is a natural thing to have happen. So as we have talked more and more with these men, the things we've really tried to help them understand is that they are doing an incredible job. It is a very tough job. Every day is going to be different. They're going to have to come up with their own answers, but we are there as a group to help support those and to answer any needs they might have. And so it is really sort of a joy to be the one to facilitate, to work with this group of people, because these men are truly outstanding.
Thank you, Dick and David, for being the ones to offer support and understand the unique needs of gentlemen caregivers. We have a host of support groups that are available in person, via phone, and virtually. To find a support group near you, whether it's an early stage support group, younger onset, caregiver support group, gentleman's support group like we just mentioned, or even a Spanish language support group, please contact our 24/7 helpline at 1-800-272-3900, or go ahead and explore the links provided in this live stream. We also have Floridians who are being the ones to change our communities. This year, I'm very proud to say that we added our first statewide director of diversity, equity, and inclusion, Mr. Keith Gibson. He's working to increase our efforts to create organizational partnerships and increase conversations in diverse communities around dementia. As an example, recently the association joined a community conversation at the Greater Hearst AME Chapel in Newtown, Sarasota. At the invitation of Pastor Belinda Alexander and the Greater Hearst congregation, Keith Gibson and I participated in a community discussion around dementia. Here we heard from Miss Janice Dixon, who courageously shared her journey with her mother. Miss Dixon and other members of the congregation also led a discussion about how we can make Newtown a more dementia-friendly community. Also, through our statewide mobile outreach initiative, the Brain Bus is collaborating with other local community partners to reach more diverse, rural, and underserved communities in Sarasota, Manatee, and DeSoto counties. I'm very proud to say these partners include Center Place Health. We just joined them last Saturday at their health fair in Payne Park. MCR Health will be joining them on May 7th in Arcadia. Casa Santa Marta in Sarasota, Holy Cross Manor, and All Faiths Food Bank and Friendship Center of DeSoto. We have 2 mobile units as part of this outreach initiative, or brain buses, as we like to call them, that travel across the state to educate communities about the warning signs of dementia, ways to reduce your risk, and provide information about local resources. We also have Floridians who are being the one to increase awareness. We're often inspired when people have the courage to share their personal story, like Michelle and Doug Hall. Let's play a video to hear more about their story now.
Michelle Hall says it started when she was 53.
Like, oh, I put something in the refrigerator when I was supposed to be here, or I kept losing my keys.
She says she visited her doctor several times and was told it was probably an effect of menopause.
I just said, I feel like it's more than that. And it was more than that.
After a year and a half, Michelle finally got a diagnosis, early onset Alzheimer's.
We were like, okay then, because it's no longer a moving target.
That meant she could take action. It's just one of the reasons the Alzheimer's Association says early detection is important.
Early detection allows an early diagnosis, allows the person living with dementia to be the most active participant in their own care.
It's one of the goals of the association's just launched All Stars. It connects users to a video that describes local resources, provides education about Alzheimer's and dementia, and highlights 10 warning signs.
These are things that are not normal aging. So if you're experiencing these things, talk to your doctor. Doesn't mean it's Alzheimer's disease necessarily, but what it does mean is something is changing, and we need to talk through that with a doctor.
While delayed, Michelle's diagnosis meant she could pursue treatment with Aduhelm. As for the new program,
I am an All-Stars.
That's right. Michelle's husband Douglas says he completed it 2 weeks ago. He tells us anything that can educate the public is important, but he says there needs to be more awareness among the medical community as well to prevent delayed diagnoses like Michelle's.
So that was a very frustrating process, a very scary process, a very long process. And I wish that along the way there were people that knew more to direct us better so that she would have gotten diagnosed sooner.
In Bradenton, Sarah Blazonis, Spectrum News.
I've personally had the honor of getting to know Michelle and Doug, and they truly both inspire me. They share their story with elected officials, the media, and with others starting on their own journey. As Michelle and Doug show us, there are many ways to be the one in the fight against Alzheimer's and all related dementias.
Reasons that Michelle has been the one making a difference is because when people see Michelle, It's like there's no way that woman has Alzheimer's. She's
right,
too
because I
young
run,
and
yeah.
she's active, and then they hear that she has Alzheimer's, and suddenly people get a different understanding of the disease, that it is completely impartial. It doesn't matter what age you are, what gender you are,
Right.
what ethnicity you are. It just picks you randomly. She didn't have it in her family, so it picked her randomly, and people start to understand, holy smokes, this could be me, this could be my spouse, this could be my sister, my mother, my daughter.
Yes.
And then people get a deeper understanding and appreciation for this horrendous disease. So I think that has enabled her to be a very strong advocate and make a huge difference in not only the Alzheimer's community, but our greater community at large here in in Florida and surrounding areas, and all those people that are reached by the advocacy efforts that she participates.
In the news clip earlier, you heard Doug share that he is an all-star. As I mentioned earlier, Florida is at the epicenter of the Alzheimer's epidemic in the U.S., and that's why we're collaborating with the Florida Department of Elder Affairs and other organizations on a statewide public health initiative. We're working to have all Floridians learn a little bit more about the warning signs of Alzheimer's and the resources available in their own communities. But we can't do this without you. Like most public health initiatives, it takes a village to make an impact. It's going to take all of us working together to raise awareness. So go to allstars.org and become an all-star today. Once you become an all-star, share your new all-star status with the people around you. Give your all-star completion award to your employer and share it on Facebook. Add it to your LinkedIn profile. And challenge the people around you to also become an all-star, whether it's your family, at your house of worship, or even at your workplace. Go to allstars.org and become an all-star today. Let me now turn this live stream back to Lisa to tell you more about the longest day.
Thank you, Bernice. We have a wonderful event that I would like to share with you. It's called The Longest Day. On June 21st, it is the summer solstice. It's the day with the most light. It's the day that we fight against the darkness of Alzheimer's. We can help you turn your hobby or your passion into a purpose. Whether you like to bake, play bridge, play golf, play tennis, your passion can easily be part of a fundraiser that will help to create a world without Alzheimer's disease and all other dementia. All you need to do is register at alz.org/TLD. Here's a clip that shares more of the ideas about how you can participate in the longest day.
The longest day is the day with the most light, the summer solstice.
Fight the darkness of Alzheimer's with us. Participate in any activity to raise funds and awareness for care, support, and research.
Fundraising is easy. You can get a lot of help from family, friends, and the Alzheimer's Association.
Send emails asking friends and family to visit your fundraising webpage. Personalize the page and share your story.
Use social media to reach your goal faster. Share why you're participating in the longest day and post a photo.
You can fundraise for the longest day any day of the year. Ask for donations on your birthday or anniversary. Throw a party or a cookout and charge an entry fee. Add a silent auction with donated items. Ask for donations for every mile you hike. Knit a scarf to auction off, or bake cupcakes for the cause.
You can begin today. The sooner you start, the more you'll raise. Select your activity and get fundraising tips at alz.org/thelongestday.
If you're planning to participate in the longest day and your events are in Sarasota, Charlotte, DeSoto, or Manatee, then the funds that your pledge will go through the Giving Challenge will be credited to your longest day event. I'd like to share some of the challenges that are going on currently in our area. In Charlotte County, we've got 2 large 55-plus homeowners associations that are having a community-wide garage sale. We also have local volunteers that are playing pickleball for their events. We're also donating the proceeds from one event in Sarasota from a local winery. And we have a local golfer who is honoring his father by playing golf. Also, we've got local schools that are participating using arts and crafts. And in Manatee, we're having local residents playing bridge. Again, we would like to place a link in our giving challenge for anyone who would like to participate. And we also want to deeply thank the Patterson Foundation for their matching donations. If you have a longest day event or a Walk to End Alzheimer's team and participate in the giving challenge, we will credit your pledge to your Sarasota and Manatee walk teams. In closing, we want to thank again the Community Foundation of Sarasota County for offering the giving challenge.
We also want to thank all the people we heard from today: Luis, David, Dick, John, the Greater Hearst AME Chapel, Doug, and Michelle for sharing their time, talent, and stories with us today, and also for being the ones in their communities. Please know that we only had time to share the stories of a few of our volunteers and community partners. Because of all of you and all of our volunteers, none of us are alone on this journey. Together, we bring hope, and together, we can make a difference.
Tomorrow at 11:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, we're going to do live streaming again for the last 30 minutes of the Giving Challenge. We'll share more stories of how additional volunteers will be the one in their community. Thank you so much again for joining us.